Hello and welcome to Elisabeth Hogarth Designs. We are in for a treat because we have a new launch from the team at Craft Consortium. Let's take a look at the 12 Days of Christmas. This collection has been designed for the Christmas 2023 season, and this particular collection has been illustrated by Clare Therese Gray. You may remember her from the Circus and from Noel, which were very pretty collections, and this is following that kind of theme. The A4 papers are becoming a staple of these collections now, and if I quickly run through it, you'll see that the colour palette is quite regal, quite vibrant colours in muted tones, if that makes sense. So you've got your purples, your reds and your greens, and they're a little bit different. And then we've got the 6x6 papers. We've got a fabulous set of stamps that I'll show you more of in a moment. We've got the rub-on transfers, and I want to show you the difference in the sizing of these various elements. And then we've got some chipboard ephemera. So I'll show you all of that in a moment. First, let's take a look at the 12x12 papers, so you can see the wreath on the front with all of the elements of the 12 days, and you'll find that you'll end up singing the 12 days of Christmas as you run through it. We've got some additional topper elements on the front, and then you've got a grid here of the 12 days, so you can simply cut into these. If you want the 6 geese a laying or 7 swans swimming, you've got the elements on the back. They've all been beautifully illustrated by Clare Therese Gray, very talented British-based designer. And the colour palette is coming through from those papers. So then we go into the first day of Christmas, and you can sing along if you like. My true love sent to me, a partridge in a pear tree. Then we have the 2 turtle doves. On the third day, we've got the 3 French hens, the 4 calling birds. And then the next page, as you turn it, features all of the various elements that you could cut around these and make them into cabochons. You've got a beautiful Victoriana Christmas tree. And then we move on to the 6 geese a laying and the 7 swans are swimming, which is one of my favourite pages. I love the colours and I love the detail in these birds. When you come to stamp these birds here, you will be amazed by the quality of the design. Then it mixes it up a little bit because we've got the 8 maids a milking, and then we've got the various designs again. Then moving on, we've got the 9 ladies dancing, and these can be cut out so you can see that they can be used for any time of the year. They'd be perfect for ballerina cards. We've got the 10 lords a leaping. I like the colours of this. It's quite a plum colour. And then you've got more of these deep purple tones, so you can remember these papers here, how well all of this fits together. And then we've got the 11 pipers piping. When you come to the elements, you've got these drummers in the chipboard, but when it comes to the stamps, you've got the drums. But there's plenty here for you to be cutting out, and I love this. And again, it's not necessarily a Christmas collection because you can use these at any time of the year, but if you do so, you have got some beautiful gift wrap presents, more delightful designs, and the colour palette changes slightly here. Got some pearlized papers, and then you've got the more of the toppers at the back. So it's a great design palette, and personally I think depending on the way that you colour it, it really doesn't have to be just for Christmas. When you come to the 12x12 papers, everything is scaled down. And even on the front here, you can use these ones here for small tags. So rather than as in you have with the Health Couple Ditch collections where you have less of these toppers. You've got all 12 toppers, they're just slightly smaller, but you've got all of the elements of the toppers on the front if you can bear to cut into it, as I always say. So those are your papers, and the embellishments, I wanted to just show you a couple of things. So if we look at the 12 Days of Christmas first, and then you bring in the chipboard ephemera, you'll see that if you want to work with the 12 by 12 papers, the ephemera is quite similar in the sizing. So here we've got the swans, so you can see the sizing here, and you've got the birds in various positions. You've got the drummers, and with the Craft Consortium ephemera you've got a peelable and sticky back. So this part here is sticky, but you can add glue should you wish to. They are quite lightweight, so they won't affect how heavy your card or your project becomes, but you've got a few of the drummers, and then you've got these larger drums themselves, and then these will come with the stamps. But I like that they're doing different things. You've got the calling birds, you've got the maids and milking in various guises. You've got quite a few of these drummers, and it may well be that you'll end up buying a second set. Those are the Piper's Piping, the Lords are Leaping. I mean, if you don't know this carol, it's a very classic Christmas carol. We sing it every year in the UK. It's used a lot in assemblies and for sing-songs. You've got the dancers, but again, these can be used as simple pieces for a dancer's card. It doesn't necessarily have to be something like Sugar Plum Fairy. See, that's a beautiful ballerina pose. And then you've got more of the birds, but this ephemera set just keeps on going. And generally, I think I'm right in saying that these ephemera sets are usually under a £5. So you've got a lot here for the money. I think the price point is round about the £4 mark. You've got the geese are laying, you've got the 3 French hens, and you've got one of the diamond rings. You've got some stars and some crowns, but you can see all of that comes in the pack, and this sizing here is round about the same size as your 12 by 12 papers. So you can see there are the additional toppers, and then here are the chipboard pieces, but you'll find that these are ever so slightly larger than the transfers. So let's keep a few of the toppers out. So we've got the maids are milking and the drummers drumming, and then you've got within the collection, you can buy these items separately, but the money for the collection is usually very reasonable. So you've got 2 sheets of these, and then you've got your stick that will help you rub them on. So they are repeating patterns, so 2 sheets of the same. So if you take your drummers drumming, you can see the difference. And then you've got your maids are milking here. So again, if you only want to buy part of the collection, you could go for the 6 by 6 papers, and you've got your maids are milking here, and you can see the difference in the sizing. If you take them at the front, these additional toppers are round about the same size, and the ephemera is slightly bigger. So it's really up to you. You could have the whole collection. I personally like mixing and matching all of the elements, and that's why I'm very lucky to be sent the whole collection this time by the team at Craft Consortium. Now I want to move on to the stamp set. So we're moving over to this larger size of stamp set, which personally I really like because the images are ever so slightly bigger. Makes it easier for colouring in. So this is an A4 sheet of paper. These stamps here are an A5 sheet, so you need one of those. And the old size was the A6 sheet, so you can see the difference in the sizing. So then you've got the Noel that we worked with. So these ones are slightly bigger, but you've got less to work with. And then you've got the Candy Christmas, so you can see this, how the sizing of the stamps compares. But as I say, I really enjoyed working with these ones. So I had a quick go at stamping them out. These were literally scrap pieces of paper, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I was just testing the stamps, and I ended up stamping out 12 Days of Christmas. So you've got the 2 turtle doves and the 5 rings, and then I had a very pleasant couple of hours colouring them in. So you've got your geese laying. So you could just make these as patterns. If all you wanted to do was buy the stamp set, you could easily make yourself a set of cards for Christmas. These are some of my favourites because, as I say, these can be used at any time of the year. And I adore the Maids of Milking. I think they're beautifully illustrated, and I really, really enjoyed colouring them in. I must say, I did miss having those pipers because I thought they were a really nice touch, but the horns will do. And then we've got the 12 drummers drumming, which again, I stamped these really quickly with a small stamp block. So even if you haven't got a stamping platform, you can easily rustle up a design like this. But they were really nice to colour. And as I say, these sizes here are a cross between the 6x6 and the 12x12, so they are well worth investing in my opinion. Just a couple more things to consider. We've got the Craft Consortium glitter cards, so these come in packs of 10. These ones here I believe are 220 GSM. They're usually acid free when it comes with Craft Consortium. They're very aware of how you're using these things, so they're very safe with the papers that they pick. And these are very subtle glitters. If you don't like the scratchiness of glitter, this is like a smooth effect, and I think these will work really well. We've got the silver and the gold here. It does come in other colours, and I think these will work well with the collection. And I've also got a set of their new mirror card, which you can see how shiny it is from the reflection. So we've got the gold, the red, the silver and the green. And again, you can find this on their website or from your local retailer. And this is 240 GSM. And I think this colour palette here will work well for your die cutting, for your layering, for your larger sentiment die cuts, to go with the 12 Days of Christmas. So now that you've seen the Christmas goodies, we'll begin to create some projects. Here is the first of my design team projects ready for the launch of the 12 Days of Christmas. It is due to be shared on Create Craft Television here in the UK in the middle of August, so keep an eye on my social media for further updates. But this card here is relatively simple in that I took the 6x6 papers, the front sheet, and I mounted it up onto some of the coordinating A4 papers and a silver mirror card frame, and you've got yourself a really stylish 8x8 card. Then I made a stamped card. I actually made a set of 13, but I'll show you more of that in a moment. I tried really hard to film a lot of my preparation of these samples, so Over the next few weeks there will be various videos relating to these projects, so it's well worth subscribing to my channel and hitting the alert button to be notified of future content. So here are the 12 images of the 12 days of Christmas in stamped form. So they have been stamped out with VersaFine Clare and coloured with polychromo pencils. And you can see how well they come together to feature on yet another 8x8 card. I then took some of the 12x12 paper and I used it to decorate a simple box, and it gives you the idea that these papers are brilliant for gift wrapping. So I've got a bit of a fancy fold here, and then I've matched it with a small tag with one of the chipboard ephemera embellishments, My True Love Sent to Me sticker, and some more coloured in toppers. Next, I made an MDF bauble, and as I say, there will be videos on how to make several of these projects. So this is an MDF bauble that has been decorated in tartan on the back, and then again I've used the 2 turtle doves paper, created my own topper, added some silver mirror card as an embellishment, and some coordinating tartan and one of the Noel silver embellishments. And I really like the way that has turned out, and it will make a wonderful colour coordinated home decor piece. Here's my set of 12 cards of the 12 days of Christmas. I will show these to you in a dedicated stamped video, but you can get the idea that I have made a set of various size cards featuring the stamps and the different elements of the 12 days of Christmas. The 8 Maids a Milking is one of my particular favourites, as are the 9 Ladies Dancing and the 12 Drummers Drumming. Then I decided to make a handbag styled box. So you've got the pocket here with the swans are swimming on the back, and then you open her up, and I've got various elements inside to create a recipe box full of old-fashioned recipes, and each one of the recipe cards has been finished off using one of the smaller transfer embellishments. The gold glitter card came in handy to mount up the various papers and to create a rather classy handle. But again, there'll be more of this particular project on a dedicated video on my channel. And then last but not least, I created an embroidery hoop wreath. So you can just about see on the side here that this is a 10-inch embroidery hoop, and I've used a decorative paper on the back, and then I've used each one of the chipboard ephemera pieces to replicate the 12 days of Christmas. So here we have various projects featuring this wonderful collection. I thoroughly enjoyed creating with it. I've got baubles, I've got decorative pieces, I've got gifts, and I've got various styles of cards featuring the beautiful designs of the Craft Consortium paper. As always, you can find more about these projects on my social media, and don't forget you can join like-minded fans of Craft Consortium products on the official Facebook group, the Craft Consortium Network. I'll leave you all the links below, but until then, I'll see you again very soon. Take care, bye-bye for now.